Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Sales Lady Live. I am Christine Harrington, and we are here to talk about how I built the system that I used to build one of the $30 million books of business that I built over a series of years. Now, just like everybody else, in my 4 decades of selling, my selling skills evolved in every which way, and they still continue to evolve today. Now, what I'm going to go over with you tonight is specifically for SDRs, BDRs, and AEs. Now, in my corporate world, I did it all. I did all 3 of those roles: SDR, BDR, and AE. So I found the business. I cultivated and nurtured the prospects. I developed the business. I closed the business. And then I brought in the implementation teams, and I went through the implementation process after they became the new client, before I passed them on to the account manager. So I did the role from start to finish. It always has bothered me that companies started separating those roles out, because SDRs don't really know how to close deals, and AEs now don't really know how to develop business. And really, all of that is essential if you're going to be a high potential sales professional. So if you're going to be at the top, you got to know it all. Today on LinkedIn, this is another thing that I want you to keep your eye on. Today on LinkedIn, I saw several posts that said cold calling is dead. I saw several posts that said cold emailing is dead. I saw several posts that says doing face-to-face meetings are dead. I'm here to tell you none of that is dead, and don't listen to the people that's spouting that nonsense. As a sales professional, you're to do all of those things in order to develop the prospect. So as I said in the beginning, I did all these roles, and you're now going to learn exactly how I developed and closed deals. Now, if we don't get through all of this tonight, I thought the mic was muted. Excuse me, I thought the mic was muted. If we don't get through the entire presentation tonight, I will do the extension and do the rest of it Tuesday night. Why should you watch Tuesday night? Because Tuesday night, I will give away my slide deck so you can have it yourself. Okay, deal? All right, let's get to it. How I built a $30 million book of business. I've done it 3 times with 3 different insurance companies. So let's get to that. All right. This is for anyone who does B2B sales. So in this presentation, we're going to go over what you should do in the next 30 days. We're going to lay the foundation. I'm going to share with you my effective scripts and emails. I'm going to share with you an effective daily process to help you develop one yourself. Then conversion rates, on how do you convert and close the deals, and then optimizing processes. That's what we're going to cover, hopefully all tonight. If not all tonight, then we will go into it again and finish it Tuesday night, and I will have this deck available for you to download. All right. In order to be successful, no matter what it is that you're doing, you have to have daily processes, and you have to have a plan to put those daily processes into action. That goes without saying. You can't approach your day letting it go whatever direction that comes your way. You know, we could all spend all day long doing nothing but answering emails, but you don't have time to do that. If you did that, you wouldn't be selling. You would be missing your sales goals. So it's important to get really clear about what your daily processes are going to look like. So you've got to know this. Every morning when you sit down at your desk or wherever you work, it is ground zero. You are starting all over again, and you have to build your day from ground zero. Okay? So you have to ask yourself in the very beginning, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Now, you can do this the night before, and if you don't do it the night before, you absolutely have to do it first thing in the morning. What is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? And then develop your daily actions based on that. Okay. Some people do a set schedule every single day. Some people don't. I don't care what it is for you, just have a schedule set for the day. That's the most important thing to take away from this, because your process is going to evolve over time. It's going to continue to evolve over time. Your process, as you start winning, it will become very detailed, and you're going to get very, very clear about what you have to do every single day. So just know that your process should evolve over time. Okay. And also know it will be hard and uncomfortable. So if you're not used to a specific schedule for a day, you are really going to push back on this. You're going to not want to do it. There's going to be lots of days you're not going to want to do it. But if you can get in the habit of doing this every single day, I'm telling you, just for the fact that you're scheduling your day, your sales will improve. I kid you not. I have seen this in sales teams that I have coached time and time again. When I break down their day and see what they're actually doing, are they doing busy work or are they doing sales activities? And your focus should be on sales activities. All right. Can you believe I'm still dealing with this cold? So the next thing you're going to do is, who are the top performers around you? Who are they? And what are they doing? It could be in your field, in your business, in your team, or it could be outside, somebody outside that you really have been watching that's a top performer. What are they doing? Take note of that. Next thing, are you using a CRM? Now, I know lots of salespeople who resist using the CRM because, number one, it takes a lot of time. I agree with that. Number two, they think that's the tool their manager uses to micromanage them. They're both right. That's exactly what's going on. But that shouldn't stop you from using the CRM. It can be your best friend. So when I was in group benefits, back in, starting in 2003 up until 2014, actually 2013 is when I left. My managers always was monitoring me through the CRM that we were using. And at that time, most insurance companies were using Salesforce. So Salesforce can be very complicated. Anyone that's used Salesforce, it can be very complicated. But what it did for me is it kept me on track and it kept me ahead of my prospects and ahead of my sales processes. That's why I absolutely embraced the CRM, because it was a tool that helped me monitor and help me close deals. So really learn that CRM and use it to your advantage. The other point that top performers do is they're always self-educating. Are you self-educating? Are you looking on LinkedIn and seeing what the other top performers are doing in your industry or in your sales category as an SDR or a BDR or an AE? Are you utilizing LinkedIn so that your prospects can see who you are? It is amazing to me how many do not use this as a visible tool so prospects can get to know who you are as a sales professional. It's vital that you do that. Back when I was selling, that was not a thing. And let me tell you, if I was an SDR or a BDR or an AE today, I would absolutely use LinkedIn to showcase myself to prospects. That's how they get to know you, as I said. All right, now, top performers, they are hyper aware of distractions and eliminate distractions. Now, how can you eliminate distractions? Well, do what I do, and that is, especially on this little device right here, the smartphone, the entire workday, it is in do not disturb mode. So I'm not getting dings and notification. I have one person that's allocated as a key person that the call can come through on, and that's my son. I also let clients be able to get a hold of me during the do not disturb mode as well. But everybody else, they can't get a hold of me during that do not disturb workday mode. Now, I'm checking my phone periodically during the day for emails and for text messages and things like that. But I put it on do not disturb so I'm not constantly getting the ping or the notification bell or something like that. So top performers do that, and they don't try to do many things. They try to eliminate doing a lot of different things. If it's working for you, why would you change it? Right? That is another big mistake that I see salespeople do, is that they'll try something else and then they get frustrated when that doesn't work. Why are you trying to do something different if what you're doing is working? Top performers don't waste their time on that. If it's working, they stick with it. Then what I want you to do, and what I did, was I picked 1 to 2 people that I wanted to emulate. And I did emulate them. Matter of fact, I would talk to them occasionally. They weren't mentors as much as people, and these were people that were my competitors as well. I would become friendly with them and get to know them as an acquaintance. So if I saw them at a trade meeting, I'd be able to go up to them and ask them a few questions. And I would emulate what they would tell me, what they would, share with me. So I never tried to be a threat to anyone. I tried not to be hyper competitive with my competitors. I would hand off business to my competitors if it wasn't a fit for me in in uh, um in my niche as corporate insurance. I would hand it off to someone that I thought was a good fit that was a competitor. And sometimes they did it back to me as well. They reciprocated. So get to know your competitors, be friendly with them. Okay. In the next 30 days, begin AE relationships. So if you're an SDR or BDR, you need to begin a relationship with that AE, okay, with that account executive. And this is a lot of things. This is something that I see a mistake in corporate America. And I always considered my coworkers, my peers, um, my account manager. I worked with account managers. I always saw them as my internal customers. They were my internal clients. There are customers too. The underwriters that I worked with, I saw them as an internal client. And sometimes I see people being very adversarial with people that they work with. And you should be fostering relationships with these people because you're all on the same team. So your internal coworkers and peers and other departments, they're your clients as well. Matter of fact, when I would work at a new company, I would go around and I would introduce myself to different department heads that I knew that I'd be working with in the future, just so that they could meet me and I could meet them, to start building that internal relationship with coworkers. So if you're not doing that, I want to highly suggest, because when you need someone to support you on a deal, they'll be there for you, just like you would be there for them. And that also shows that you are a valuable asset as well. When you're willing to work with other people within the organization, it just shows that you're a valuable asset. Tell them what you're really good at and let them know that they can use you if they need you. Okay? And be attuned to the implementation team. If you're selling a product that needs an implementation to take place, one of the biggest things, and if you're selling a product or a service that needs an implementation, the biggest worry on that prospect's mind is disrupting the department or disrupting the company with bringing in that new product or service. Nobody wants to learn it. Nobody wants to implement it. Nobody wants to get used to it. So you can really head this off. Matter of fact, I would bring in the implementation team during the sales process, not at the end of the sale, but during the sales process, to get the prospect comfortable about how this is going to be what? Easy and simple. Here's my implementation team, right? So, how do you sell effectively? Make it easy and simple. The two words they love to hear. All right. So, you're going to request logical AE meetings. What do I mean by that? When it makes sense to talk to the AE, you're going to bring them in. Other than your initial introduction, be very focused and hypersensitive to their time schedule and to their constraints on time. Okay. So you need to determine with that AE, do we need a weekly meeting or a bi-monthly meeting, or maybe just a once a month meeting? How often do we need to meet? That makes a logical sense that we should be meeting. Okay. Don't be meeting with your AE just to have a meeting and checking it off your list. It's got to make sense. And then always have an agenda for the meeting. You called it. It's your responsibility to give the AE an agenda of what you're going to talk about. And let me just say this. If you're going to schedule that meeting and they've agreed to it, don't be late. Even if it's a Zoom call, don't be late. Be respectful of their time, just like you would a prospect's time or a client's time. Don't be sliding in at the last minute and them are on that video conferencing waiting for you. Always be ahead of the game. Always be ahead. And then what you're going to ask your AE isn't, well, what accounts do you think I should focus on? Now, if my account manager asked me that, oh, I'd be irritated. Instead, you should be asking, what accounts should I avoid and why? Why should I avoid them? All right. So those are very different than what accounts do you want me to focus on? You should already know that. Instead, what accounts should I avoid and why? So remember that tip. All right. Now, we're laying the foundation to divide and conquer. So we're going to do this first. All right. Laying the foundation of your pipeline or whatever you call sales funnel, whatever you call it. You're going to begin looking for the accounts or industries that have the highest headroom. Now, what do I mean by that? You may call it something else in your industry, but the highest headroom in my industry, which was corporate insurance, was who are the accounts that I can grow with? Who are the accounts that I can grow with fast? Those are the ones that were my A accounts that I was looking through in all of the prospects that was given me in my CRM. Then you want to make lists and divide accounts into pain points and priorities. Why? Because when you divide accounts into pain points and priorities, you can then target your email campaigns and your email templates towards all of these people in this category has this pain point. All of these prospects have this pain point. All of these prospects have this priority. You can separate them is what I'm trying to say into these silos so you know how to plug in email templates for each list. And this will make your life a lot easier. I used to do this all the time in group benefits. And then I would create my cold calling list to correspond with each one of those separate lists. Okay. So after you've divided and conquered all of your prospects, and I don't know how many's in your CRM, but in mine, there was anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000. It was nuts. So I would work through those. Who has the highest headroom? Who had the most immediate pain points? And I would bring that list down to about 25. And that was manageable for me. So I would have actually a list of 100. 25 that was the A's, 25 that was the B's, 25 C's, and 25 D's. Then what I would do is I would rotate that sales funnel in. 25% will probably close. 25% will say no. So I'll pull those out and bring in 25% more. 25% are in the sales process, and 25% could be considered dead horses. They're never going to buy. So I would manage those and pull them out and bring new ones in. So my sales pipeline was in a constant rotation. Okay. That's how you keep your sales pipeline from drying up. And you should be prospecting every single day, moving accounts in and moving accounts out. Okay. So your plan for the day, after you've completed the divide and conquer, begin setting up tasks in your CRM. And like I said earlier, make that CRM your friend. So every day when you get to your desk and you open up your CRM, you've got your tasks and lists to work with. So you're going to set up your calls, your follow-ups, and your emails. And then each morning, before your day, each morning, your day is planned by the tasks that are set up in your CRM. That's how you can make this really easy. Okay. Now, the example I'm going to give you is in group benefits and you just take this and make it work for whatever industry you're in or product or service you're in. So who should you contact? In my case, it was benefit managers, insurance brokers, and VPs of HR. They all have the same priorities. All right. But who should you be contacting? You need to make a list of who are the people you should be contacting in your niche. Okay. Now we're going to get into my effective calls and emails. And we're going to talk about messaging that's easy. So you want to design a repeatable, simple message. It's a simple message that you can repeat over and over again. And you're going to personalize it. So don't make a mistake. I'm not saying to send out an email blast because you can personalize all of this. But you're going to practice email templates on non-essential accounts. Now, what do I mean by this? I used to do this all the time. Well, matter of fact, I still do it. I will test a cold email template or a cold email script on prospects that doesn't matter to me if they buy from me or not. Okay. And I did that in group benefits and in other insurance products that I sold in corporate sales. I would test my emails and my cold calling strategies on non-essential accounts, those accounts that it didn't matter to me whether they bought or not. So why did I do that? Because I don't want to test on essential accounts. That's why. So I tested them on non-essential accounts. And I would do it on both cold calling and emails. So now here's a pro tip. And this still works today. I'll tell you, I hear from sales reps that say, oh, no, that's old school. Yes, it is old school, but I still use it today effectively. My clients still use it today effectively. And that's always use an assumptive approach. So the email structure I used when I was in group benefits was 2 to 3 paragraphs with 2 to 3 sentences. I still pretty much keep to that to this day because people don't want to read a long, 4 or 5 paragraph email that looks like a book, a small novel. So when I was in group benefits, I clarified who I was, the pain points I solved, and I always asked to book an appointment. Okay, that's the structure I used. So let me go to the next slide and I'll show you what I mean. This is the email that I used to use when I was in group benefits. I would say, hi, Sarah. My name is Christine Harrington with XYZ Company. My role is supporting brokers like you who sell ancillary group benefits. We specialize in, and fill in the blank for you. My team works with your clients to implement a smooth transition to our ancillary product line, saving time and money. I'm looking to set time to introduce myself and my team to help with your priorities moving forward in 2025. Do these days work? And then I would list 2 dates and then thanks for your reply. Obviously, I put in 2025 for this year. Now, the email that I send out as a sales coach, cold email prospecting, would be a little different than this. But this is how I effectively set up meetings when I was in group benefits. So I know it works because my clients are using this template for their product and service effectively. So as I said at the very beginning, we probably won't get through everything tonight, and I'll be continuing this on Tuesday. And I will have this slide available for you Tuesday after the live stream so you can download it and use it yourself. Okay. Now, on the next slide, I break down the structure of this email. This is the email that I just read to you on slide 8. So the first thing you're going to do is an introduction. The second thing you're going to do is, what do you do with the value you add? Okay, what do you do with the value you add? Some people call this a value proposition. And then ask for the appointment. Okay, so the introduction is simply, my name is Christine Harrington with XYZ Company. My role is supporting brokers like you who sell ancillary group benefits. Then what do you do and what value do you add? We specialize in XYZ. My team works with your clients to implement a smooth transition to our ancillary product line, saving time and money. So that's the value add when you're working with me and the company I represent. At the time I was in group benefits. Then you ask for the appointment. I'm looking to set time. That's the assumptive close. That's the assuming you're going to get an appointment. I'm looking to set time to introduce myself and my team to help with your priorities moving forward in 2025. Do these dates work? Now, you'll either not get a reply or you'll get a reply back and say, well, I can't do those dates, but can you do this date? I had that happen. My clients have had that happen. And you're not asking if they can meet. This is a key point. You're not saying, can we meet on such and such day? You're just assuming they're going to want to meet with you by saying, I'm looking to set time to introduce myself. Okay? Always assume. Thanks for your reply. Okay. Now we're going to pivot into, and we will probably have to end here in a minute, but okay, this will be the last slide. Sorry about that. So the best daily process is be consistent, plan a day that you can easily stick to it. Okay. So if it means that from 8 to 8:30 that you are reviewing your tasks, setting up the rest of your day, reviewing the emails that you've got to answer and prioritize, then do try and do that the same time each and every day. A lot of people from 8 to 8:30 like to send cold emails and start cold calling because they can usually reach people easier at the top of the day. So that may be your preference. And then maybe later in the day, you are reviewing your emails. You've got to find out what will work for you and be consistent in that schedule. Include in your day cold emails, cold calls, and prospecting. Every single day, you have got to be doing sales activities. Back when I was an AE in group benefits, I was required to hold 10 to 15 face-to-face appointments a week, plus do everything else. That's why I was successful, because I was always in selling mode. I was always meeting prospects. I was always cold calling. I was always cold emailing. I was always, every single day, I would always have anywhere from 3 to 5 selling appointments. And that's really how I built those $30 million books of business. So plan in breaks during your day. And I did this consistently. Every 2 hours, I would plan a 10-minute break to refresh myself. I would not look at emails. I would not look for anything. I would get up. If I was in the office, I'd go to a break room, get something to drink, come back to my desk. If I was on the road, it was easy to take breaks on the road because I would do it in between my selling appointments. And during that time, I would refresh my mind with audiobooks that I wanted to listen to. Like, oh my gosh, I had a whole series of Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and Brian. Oh my gosh, I just forgot Brian's last name. You know what I'm talking about. And I would listen to those in between sales appointments to keep myself fresh. And if you're not on the road, just plan in breaks during your day because your brain needs a rest and you need some quiet time sometimes, and you should take that. Then the last best daily process I did was I made sure that CRM was updated at all times. That was my stickler, not my manager's stickler, because I lived and breathed by that CRM. It kept me organized, it kept me on task, it kept me moving forward, and it kept me closing deals. All right. So thank you for watching. On Tuesday, I had another slide ready for you, but on Tuesday, we're going to have to go over conversion rates and optimizing your processes so you can win more deals. Just keep in mind that Tuesday, I will do the rest of this training, and then I will give you the slides so you can have the slides at hand that you can refer back to help you sell more. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope you come back Tuesday and finish it out with me. And until then, I want you to stay savvy. That's right, stay savvy. You can build a $30 million book of business too. 30 million or more. Bye-bye.